What's going on, guys? Big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta today. You're you with D-Boy, and we're back with another episode of Spike for the Show by D-Boy. Alright, so today we will talk about the Dark State, because we're talking about Vanguard D, and with D, there's of course Dark State. Dark State, there is kind of Spike Brothers. So we are talking again about the Diablo deck, Bruce deck, the second starter deck from the new Vanguard D Overdress. So today we actually have all the cards released for Dunji Momoyama's Trial or Starter deck, and yeah, we also have the art of the triggers all revealed. So yeah, we could finally talk about the whole trial deck and explain to you guys how the trial deck will be working. So first we have Final Rush, of course. So we've already talked about this, the new skill, how it works to go all out. There's actually no real drawbacks from Final Rush. If you compare Final Rush to Charge, then with Charge you actually had drawbacks as the units went back to your deck. Sometimes that was good against like Link Joker or the lock mechanic or Retire, but in general Final Rush doesn't really have a downside. The only thing that it has is that the first right turn that you go into Bruce, you do nothing because he will have no skill, and all the Final Rush abilities will activate later, and he costs 5 soul, which is still okay to get in this deck. So the first one we want to talk about is the heal trigger. So we finally have the heal trigger revealed as in how she will look as a card, and I actually like, of course, the one without the skill printed on it, because you could see more of the art, but of course we will get the one with that skill printed on it. And it's not a skill, if you're asking why do I call it skill, I meant text. And what it said is how the heal works. So it said like you could only have 4 heals in your deck, and when this card is revealed as in the trigger check, as in a damage check or a drive check, you get plus 10k power. You could give one of your units plus 10k power, and if your damage blah 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 heal blah blah blah. So it actually explains how the heal work, which is a nice addition to add for people that start to play the deck new or the game new, so they actually would read the card and understand how the heal work. I hope that they don't print this on the triggers from the later on upcoming sets, because I don't think it's necessary. The same goes for the crits. I actually like the art of the crit without all the text on it. Of course, more looks like an SP, but the crit has less skill, so that doesn't really have a big difference. We also have Jake, so Diablo's boys, Jake. Kind of crazy that he's called boys. We see the logo actually on his armor and not tattooed or on any other part of his body, which is cool as well. This is the logo of, I think, Spike Brothers, or in this case Diablos maybe. So I don't know if all the Spike Brother units in the Dark State will have that logo, but it does kind of resembles a team logo. This is very similar to the Dudley draw we had from G, and yeah, I'm actually very happy with this. It's very Spike Brother like, and you can see the goal behind him, or the yeah, you call it differently, a rugby and American football, but pretty much the line where you have to score. Pretty cool. The art is pretty nice, way better than I have expected as in a boy trigger unit. The next one we have is very interesting. It's definitely still strange to have a front in a kind of Spike Brother deck, but this card is a combination of Dark Regulars and Spike Brothers. For me, it's too, how should I call it, hentai-like, maybe is the right calling. The clothes, everything is too much revealing for Cardfight Vanguard. Maybe also the choice for the bikini colors are strange because it's very close to the colors of her body itself. So I actually like the wings and the hair and everything behind her, but for her, it would have been better if she had like a dress on or something. I mean, this is still a children card game, so I don't know how about the art and what I feel about this, but it has something interesting in it, but it's not my type of unit. It had way more dark regulars into it than Spike Brothers, and we had a unit actually that looks very close to this from V as well. Now we didn't play that much, it was a great one as well, which is also very similar to this art, but I think they went a little bit too far. I like the logo, of course, on the bikini, but everything else, it is a little bit too much for me. Next, we have the Perfect Art. This is another art that I actually don't like that much. They tried to make a crossover between Gear Chronicle Sparkles and Accurate Regulars here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a little bit of Pale Moon as well, as the way she's trying to jump or move around the air. I don't know, she's kind of trying to make a butt attack, or I don't know, whatever she's trying to do. I actually, again, I'm not a big fan. Normally, I do like the art of Dark Red, Pale Moon, Sparkles, and even Gear Chronicle, but this one is, I don't know, I'm lost with this one. So, again, not my favorite art. But the good thing is that we have the other Perfect Art, which is the one that we will play mostly, because the Perfect Art from the starter deck doesn't have any extra skill. Well, the Perfect Guard from the booster box has, of course, the extra skill. So you will see me definitely playing the dragon. I also like the art way more than the great one right there. Then we have the card that I got the most confused with. So this is the last card that we have got in the trial deck. And with this, you actually lost me. You completely lost me, and everything I said before this video is gone. Flushed. Toilet goes in, gone. What's up with Bushi? And what's up with this card? I really don't get it. I've looked at the cards. It has 1 crit, it has 10k, it has 5k shield, it has intercept, no skill, nothing interesting about it. What's going on? I don't get it. And some people would be like, what don't you get? It's just a vanilla. Well, originally, before V, we had G and the sets before that. So in that era, we had the 10k grade 2s, and those had no ability, but they were 10k, because the other grade 2s were 9k, 8k, 7k, 6k, depending on their abilities. So they were never 10k. Some of them were 10k, but they had a downside to the ability. Like, you had to reveal a certain name card from your hand to make the card have their 10k base. Otherwise, it will get -5, which becomes 5k. We also had abilities that it could not attack, or it had restrain, or this or that. So normally the grade 2s were actually 9k or less. In the V era, we actually had 10k grade 2s, even in the Force clans, but they had more shield value. They had 10k shield. But when the cards from the starter deck were revealed and we got the Gear Chronicle grade 2, I actually assumed that there is no reason to make a grade 2 with 10k shield, because this card gets 5k shield by counterblasting 1. So otherwise, why would you waste the counterblast while you already have a grade 2 which has more shield? So I assumed right away that we will never have in vanilla with more shield value. Maybe later on in the game, but not this soon. And then I was like, okay, it could have more power, or it could be vanilla but has something different on it, like it could boost or this or that, like we had in V. But to give us a vanilla with 10k power, which are all the grade 2s, so for the power, nothing added. The shield value is the same. So there is actually no reason at all to play this card. Like, everything else is better. Everything. And that's something that I don't understand and I dislike a lot, because this is a filler card that they just put in there that does nothing. And you could say we had that before. No, we never ever had this. Yes, we had it once in those Kagero and Royals and Gear Chronicle kind of starter decks that we got for free with Bar. Like Bar was an 8k, was 10k grade 1, so I had nothing interesting going on there. Yeah, we had those, so but we didn't pay for those. Those were free. So I know that these trial decks are not expensive, but still, why waste paper? And why waste such a beautiful art? Did you see how good the art is? I mean, damn, that unit looks good. And then nothing. Just nothing. No good reason to ever play this card. So I'm a little bit, yeah, I would not say angry, but I was hoping to never have to see this in Cardfight Vanguard. And again, I think because it is kind of cheap, as in the way that the starter deck is looking. But yeah, so for now we actually have everything revealed. We've talked about all the cards that they added and the deck becoming really good together. And I did test the deck a lot without the last card, which is the vanilla, and actually I just played the 10k 5k vanilla, so it kind of, the testing, the games that we did on the channel are exactly right, because nothing changed, because the card that they added was 5k 10k. So yeah, I mean, that's good for those videos. Everything else, yes, we also have, of course, the reveals from the booster box, and we have seen dark regulars, we have seen some kind of pale moon going on, and yeah, it will be very interesting to see if this trial tech will get support in the booster box, or it will not support this and they will just make a new deck. Because the way that the Bushiroad is kind of doing this is they are trying to make clan decks. So we have seen Dark Regulars coming out, we now see Spike Withers, and we will see Pale Moon and Gear Chronicle. So we see actually a base deck that has its own right deck, the grade 3, the grade 2, the grade 1, and you could build it with some other cards that you could add into it. But basically, each deck is on its own deck, which makes it very similar to Magic the Gathering, if you guys may know, as you choose a color or multiple colors, but now you just choose a nation, and in that nation you kind of have a core. In Yu-Gi-Oh! You also do that, but in Vanguard now you actually have a core, which is the main grade 3 and the units around it, and then the other cards you add are just support units. And that's also the way that they have written the names of the trial deck right here, because we begin with Bruce, Richard, Steve, and Matt, and those are actually your main cards. That's your core. Those are the cards that you play in your right deck, and then the others are support of them. So we have the Colossus grade 3, we have the no reason to have in grade 2, we have the shield value from Gear Chronicle grade 2, and then we have the Acrobat as in our Soul Charger from Pure Moon. We have the Sentinel, which we will kick right away whenever we get the one from the booster box, and then we have the Overtrigger and everything else. So yeah, I'm very happy and excited to play this in real life with the real cards, because I'm testing it right now with, of course, the cards that we have printed and made. So this will definitely be the main deck that I will be playing for a while, until we get a little bit more boost. Of course, I will pick up the other clans in the dark state as well. Alright guys, thank you all for watching, thank you for tuning in our channel, thank you for subscribing, commenting, and liking, and tell me your thoughts about that grade 2, because I'm a little bit irritated and I actually expected better. Thank you guys, until next time.